there are also inside America, there are also criticisms going on. Very outspoken Senator Lindsey Graham warned and criticized Donald Trump's policy may impose 100% tariffs on the countries like China, India and Brazil, those who are the biggest exporter to United States. The claim is they are buying the Russian oil and Trump is imposing 100% tariffs. I want to ask Air Commodore Ishfaq Elahi, because he has expertise on international affairs as well. Do you think this is going to be work?
I think they should impose you on these countries because they are trying to get the benefit from both sides. So let the Americans impose their higher tariff on the Indians and the Chinese. It is better for us, you see. And we should, as I will agree with him, that we should try to improve our, but first of all, most important, we should try to improve our negotiation skill. It is very unfortunate that we have on the international arena, whether it is diplomacy or business, we have very few people who can negotiate, and often we don't even involve them because of internal domestic political consideration. Sometimes the man is available, the person is available, but he is not called in, somebody else comes in and he doesn't know what he is signing for. We got into, you remember, we were joined the WTO without, before India or China, we were there and we didn't know what we have signed for. So that must not happen. Another thing is that this is time to diversify. We always say that, this year we have beaten Vietnam in the garments export, but garments is a very small today. They started with garments, but today, Vietnam's $350 billion they are exporting light engineering and other things. We could have done the same thing. Our Waltons or things like that should have gone into the world market, but maybe we have not done our homework. Maybe we have not given the best of. We are only concentrating how to give more and more incentive to the garments, but we are not giving those to the other industries who are crying that you see. Semiconductors, for the example, you see the world's biggest. We have a prospect there. We are producing our expert people, but the business, this network is not coming up the way it came up in India, Bangalore, or New Delhi. So those are things we have to hear, and also about the balancing the trade deficit. Today there was a news item that we are buying some Boeing aircraft, okay? Maybe it's to please the Americans, but thing is that they putting money in Biman. I'm not against Boeing. It's the world's now the topmost commercial aviation producer, okay? So, but where is the money going? Today, for 52 years, we have funneled our national economy into Biman, and we have been losing money, losing money. It's the same story with Air India. Is the same story with British Airways, is the same story with PIA, anyone which is state dependent. Whereas in our country, the private airlines are playing with the what you call the uneven playing field, and still they are growing. So this money, yes, we want to buy Boeing, but let this come through the, I would say, let this come through the private airlines. Give them incentive, let us have one or two at a time and let them grow up, and let them. You don't have to give them anything, but give them level playing field. The facilities that you extend to Biman, you give the same facilities to our, private airlines. Another thing I suggested this morning, I put it in my Facebook in public, that now is that everyone is talking we should modernize our Air Force, okay? Since after this, a lot of criticism that why for 30 years we haven't had anything, new. So this is the time we can buy some US military equipment, and I'm talking about the fighter aircraft, even if they are not the latest, like I said, that aircraft like F-16 and F-15, which is really even 20 years old, if we buy them today at a bargaining price, we can still use them for another 20-25 years, no problem, you see, because of the advanced technology, metallurgy and supply and all. But then of course, when you buy American weapons, there is also in small, we should know what is written in the small print. There are some conditions implied. So that our negotiators will have to get the best out of it. But this is another area, just a thought, you see. So we need to negotiate with strength. We don't have to bend down. Like you said that the Europeans have bent down so much. So why under pressure? Why are they still, it appears that the Americans are still their masters. You see, we don't have to be. I don't think we should do that. But you know, we should get the best.
Sir, I was listening you very carefully as you are experienced from Air Force department. I just want to ask you one question. Bangladesh is a country not to attack any other countries, but Bangladesh is a country might be attacked by other countries. So, do you think or do you advise Bangladesh to go for investment in offensive equipments or defensive equipments?
There is no offensive equipment and there is no defensive equipment. All weapons, you know, a rifle is an offensive weapon or defensive weapon? Tell me. It is both. You see, if somebody attacks you, you defend yourself with a rifle. You want to shoot somebody, you attack. So, every weapon is a defensive weapon, every weapon is an offensive weapon. Well, some are really defensive, you know. But when you design of the, you see, since 71 December, right? So, we fought in the Liberation War, but after the Liberation War, since then, we have been spending almost the same amount, about 1.82% of our GDP for defense. And this has remained constant. Our GDP has increased, so has our defense budget. So, our aim has been to, first of all, to have a position of, deterrence, a negotiation position, whether it is on international level or within our borders. And second thing is to have the ability to operate in an environment. For example, you see, we are now one of the major contributor of UN peacekeeping mission. Our people are there in the deserts of Mali. Our people had been in the jungles of Cambodia and in the Haiti, tropical, all areas in different situations. Okay, so if they had no ability to, operate, and the practical knowledge, how will they operate? They will not be, and they are in fact bringing quite a bit of foreign exchange back to the country. Plus the image, the Bangladesh's image, I always call them our best ambassadors. Bangladesh is peacekeeping troops have been the best ambassador of Bangladesh. So we have to have that, and we have to have a position of, as a sovereign country, we have to have a balanced defense posture. And that doesn't have to mean that we have to go and fight with somebody. As Professor Imtiaz says, we are the rare country in the world which has no territorial dispute. Every inch of our border is marked, and every inch of our territorial seas also
is settled.
Settled with our neighbors. So, and we don't have an overseas base anywhere. So we are in peace with all, but to maintain that peace, we got to have our strength.
Country is in a transition moment now. One interim government is running the country. Political parties are demanding elections. People are really scared what's going on around the country in terms of law and order situation. First, from you, sir, Ishfaq Elahi sir, you have long experience on defense forces. I want to know what you urge to the people of this country, government of this country, and political parties of this country, how to behave, how to run.
It is very unfortunate that today we are sitting here, and for 23 years, last 23 years, I have been connected with the private universities, very, very intimately. And I think yesterday or day before yesterday, some private university students for the first time were caught. Yes. This what do you call?
Bribery.
No, extortion. Not bribery. Extortion of money from Gulshan, right where we are talking from. And this morning I carried out a search, and it has come in the newspaper also, the name of the university. Thankfully, the 3 universities that I served, they are not in that. So you see, this shows where we have gone. I mean, extortion has been going on, but they were mostly done by the public university students who are involved in politics. But this particular revolution, this one, was geared by private university students,
Yes.
And after a few months after August, most of them have gone back to the schools and colleges, and they are having their studies, and none of our boys are now involved, but the few ones who are taking advantage, they got into. So this is very sad, and is a challenge, and as the election comes closer, this challenge will keep on growing, you see. And another thing is that personally for me, I wish election dates are announced as quickly as possible, and I have always been saying that we must get the military out from the street as early as possible. The longer they stray, is the greater the danger of loss of efficiency, military efficiency. You see, they are not recruited to be the policemen on the street or traffic men. They have their own duties, they have their own training, and the less so the earlier the government, the law and order situation improves and government decides, and the government should bring the military back and also rejuvenate the police. And as came out in the newspaper, one of the guy who has been arrested, he was a coordinator in the police commission, now police reform commission. Okay.
So sir, things are out of control.
Really, I mean that is something which
direction.
Our politicians, if they really want to rule tomorrow, come to the picture. They will. You see, the more unstable the country is today, the more unstable it will be tomorrow.